All right, so there is one movie I'm actually looking forward to seeing modern day, and it is Sonic 3, which I'm going to see tomorrow night. Now, I'm making a pre show for this, talking about my thoughts on what I think the movie is going to be, because it is going to have my favorite Sonic character of all time, Shadow the Hedgehog, who is, without a doubt, an interesting character that has been misdeveloped a lot, because he started in Sonic Adventure 2, I believe, or at least that's how I remember him, because that game was amazing. Just the Shadow story arc was really deep, well written, and where a lot of games tend to show Shadow as, well, per se, just an angry guy. This game, portrayed Shadow as a deep character with a painful past, very apathetic, not over the top angry, but he was not afraid to get his hands dirty. Like a subtle force for destruction with pain that he didn't have to lash out with his voice, because he always had the power to back it up physically, and he did. But genuinely, he is a very soft-spoken villain, and it's just his whole arc of who is he and where his morals truly lie. Does he actually care about people? Is he cold-hearted? Does he have any redeemable qualities? Was just overall, this was one of the deepest characters that Sonic has ever come up with. So the fact that he's having Keanu Reeves portray his voice, which honestly was the obvious casting pick, I'm going to be real. I hope that they don't mess up his arc. Now, honestly, these are Sonic movies, and the Sonic movies have done a good job of keeping a Sonic story arc consistent, where there's a lot of Sonic development, and where Sonic Adventure 2, it felt like Sonic was kind of just a side character compared to Shadow in the bigger arc. I feel here it might be a complete 360 flip. I'm expecting it to, because it is a Sonic movie. I don't know if they're going to use Shadow repeatedly or how his story is going to end, but I just hope they give an accurate representation, just because the Knuckles that they used for Sonic 2 was so different from the Knuckles that we've seen before. So I'm hoping that they do Shadow the Hedgehog justice. Maybe they might give Tails a little bit of time, a little bit more of Professor Eggman, and I know his grandfather's going to be in there, Gerald Robotnik. So there's a lot of potential that they're going to go Sonic Adventure 2 route on this one. I'm seeing a lot of that, especially with the trailer. You have the moon getting shot with a laser. That happened before, and it was in Sonic Adventure 2. Now, honestly, I understand that these are kids' movies, but these are very entertaining. And out of all the things that Hollywood spits out, I'd have to say this is some of the best work I've seen for video game to movie adaptations. And I think there's going to be a bit of a connection where adults are going to be able to take their kids to go see this movie and say, hey, you know what? I grew up with a different version of that story. Let's go home and play Sonic Adventure 2 right after, and then they could really get to see the nitty-gritty. But speaking of which, although I can't really have too big of a wish list, I do have one request that the filmmakers are going to be putting in, and this is just the one thing I hope they do. Usually they keep these surprises separate from the trailers, like in Infinity War, where we saw Thanos edited in the trailer with a Power Stone and a Space Stone, but then when we get the full movie, we didn't realize by that time he had 4 stones and was just hunting for the last 2. So they might just be doing a really good job of hiding this one, but if you know, you know, the Bio Lizard. Now, if they are going to do a deep Shadow arc, then I think they need to do the Bio Lizard, because let me tell you something, that was the thing that made Shadow's character very awesome when he faced it in the finale of the game, because That whole battle with the Biolizard was based on Shadow's willingness to come to terms with humanity being redeemable. And although he hated the human race for taking, the person he loved most from him, that was the one obstacle he faced to selflessly do the deed and help them save the day. So with all these thoughts, that's what I'm guessing is probably going to happen for Sonic 3. However, I'm going to wait till I see the movie, and then I will be making a review after the fact, and I will see you then. But I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, go in for a good time, and we will see in about 24 to 48 hours. Peace out.